CintrianLion's decks up right now, so we can get started on those right away. Starting off, we got the Overwhelming Hunger. We got the Vilist coming in here. Yeah, it looks very standard, very just the meta Vi deck, which you would kind of see. Just running all the tutors in Vi. Again, there's no really significant changes or cards thrown in here, as the Vi decks are usually pretty optimized. There's not really too much you do with it. We see a Spores here as well, just as a nice little 1 of 4P tall punish there. So again, not a lot to talk about with the Vi list. Lined Pockets is next. And what version is this one? Okay, we see the non-Triss version. Okay, so it's a Siggy version with Heatwave. We see the Urchins down below for that Siggy tag. Extra emergency spender if you really need to. Obviously, that's one of the least efficient spenders that you have here. So, unless you're totally roped into doing that, you never really want to spend with it. It's just there for the tag. But yeah, I mean, this is normally what you see if you're going the Siggy route. Again, not a whole lot of nonsense, which is actually kind of surprising. CintrianLion tends to be pretty out there with his lists overall, at least. I mean, and maybe that's more just for ladder. These are open lists, so just not really benefiting as much with the surprise value as you would, on the ladder. Double Assault's a little bit weird. Double Assault and no dip. Oh no, there's double dip. So 1 Slindle, double Assault. Yeah, I don't like Salt too much either, just because, I don't know, you don't really have access to Salamandras. So yeah, I don't really know too much about the Assault. Double Cup, bloody good fun. No paydays either. But yeah, so Double Assault, it's not the greatest. I mean, let's move into the next list. We got is this Lippy? Yeah, we got Lippy. Oh, Igni. So there's one of the Cintrian specials, if you will, the Igni. Yeah, so Igni instead of Heatwave. Otherwise, is there anything else really super seen? Well, I mean, Snowdrop's coming back. And then we have Doragary for a little bit of that extra control. So like Lugos and Doragary, you can control the board pretty well. And then obviously Igni is something that you're going to have to consider and be worried about. But yeah, interesting. You don't see a lot of people foregoing Iced at the moment just because it's so strong. But, Lippy, always has that potential to win games just because you can smork super hard with it. And, you just get red coin and abuse it with a really, really nice strong round one hand, and you can make any deck kind of just bend over for the most part. And then finally we have Double Cross. Is this the standard Double Cross that we normally see? It looks card for card like the normal Double Cross. Running the locks, I believe it wasn't Wonged running locks as well for his. Yeah, you see some people just go for the locks and get that little bit of extra control. So, yeah, this is the standard meta breaker, just like card for card. I mean, there's not really much different you can really do with it. Yeah, I mean, just use Canarella and you play Joachim a whole bunch of times. I mean, that's just basically just the key to the deck, right? Just kind of abusing Joachim and his ability to put multiple tall units on the board. So Cams with the locks, yeah. I mean, Cams has run a couple different iterations of it. I just wasn't sure. I didn't really pay attention too much to the qualifiers today because I was super hungover this morning, and then just kind of chilling. But yeah, now we can, I suppose we can just move on to Gregor's lists really quick as I pull those ones up. A little bit different of a lineup than Cintrian. So let's go for was I about to click? Right here. Boom. All right, so we move on to Gregor's lists, and right away we see the line pockets. Actually, very, very similar, right? So running a pickpocket Kurt version. So yeah, I mean it's pretty similar, but you do have the differences from Cintrian's variant. Let me pull that one up again. What are the main differences here? No Jacques, right? No Jacques. So cutting Jacques a little bit of the top end to fit in pickpocket and Kurt, as well as a payday. And then again, we're seeing the double assault. Is that just for the salamander tag? You just needed that last extra tag, so you just run assault. I don't know about double assault though. I don't know if I would just go like, if you're just needing the tag, just go one of them. Well, actually no, because you're not running urchins here either. But I guess pickpocket gives you the blind eye tag, right? So then you don't have to run the urchins. Okay. Yeah, so you don't need the urchins, which is nice. So like, you know, pickpocket for urchins. Yeah, I like that. Obviously, I think running pickpocket is better than running urchins, but it does force you to downgrade Jacques, which is kind of sad. It does hurt your short round a bit. So those are the differences between those two, and then we have the double cross. What is there anything different here? It looks card for card the same. Yeah, it looks exact. I think it's just card for card the same deck. Yeah, this is pretty optimized at this point for what most. Oh no, slave hunters instead of locks. So like that's the main thing. That's the main differences we see between these decks. It's just this like the double 5-piece slot. So like Gregor going for more of the, because the slave hunters is more traditional, right? The locks are just more of that little added extra control, and you know, I feel like it's more of just like preference and seeing what, you know, I mean, you if you put in the locks, it allows your lineup to be a little bit, or allows the deck to be possibly a bit stronger against line pockets, but I don't know, the locks can be nice against into quite a few different decks. They can also be like kind of awkward with Vigo, I guess, but at the same time, you don't really care to find that slave hunter from Vigo either. So you also do create a lot though, so like slave hunters are pretty nice in that, right? And then there's like also their ability to kill spies, their ability to open up the opponent. Like if someone tries to swarm their board to deny usurper, you can use slave hunters to open up that slot for usurper. They can be pretty good into Arrakis as well. Slave hunters doing some work there too. So so we see the slave hunters over the locks. And I think that's the only difference, is just this 5-piece slot there. So we shall move into the next list, and is that we see Uprising here. Now we see a lot of people not really going for Uprising anymore these days. Witchers can have a falling off. I mean, they're not terrible. Like, I don't know, like lower tier 2, maybe. Like that's the thing about like the Smork decks, is that they can still always have a place potentially in some lineups. But we see going for the Yurden Witchers here, which Yurden Witchers into well, I guess into the Vi and line pockets is going to be pretty good. It's going to be okay, obviously, into double cross, and not great into Ursine Ritual, obviously. Yurden being like not great into Skellige overall. I mean, it is lippy. Like, you could see a Skellige ban potentially. I mean, you know, typically you kind of want to ban the Nilfgaard, but I mean, if you're worried about this Yurden, because yeah, and when we get into Arrakis, there's double Yurdens, so you might actually just see the ban on Ursine Ritual coming in there, even though it is lippy. Like, I'm not like lippy can be scary on red coin, but I don't know. But yeah, double Yurden is not going to be great for that one. So I'm just going to quick open up the bans for the players. All right. So, yeah, nothing too much to talk about with Witchers. Standard Witchers with Yurden. Again, no real major differences of, from the standard meta lists. And then we got Arrakis Swarm, also another Yurden list. Like, again, you might see the ban on the Lippy there, just because the Yurdens will be. I mean, if you have double Yurdens in your lineup, I mean, maybe I was thinking about banning Skellige regardless of what kind of Skellige list it was. So, but yeah, we see Yurden and then the nice one of Wild Hunt Bruiser for the movement. You can deny some engines, also set up your Yurden some more force. Like against Nilfgaard and their multiple Joachims, Bruiser comes in really hot for some really good value. So, and then double Talismans as well. So, yeah, that is that list. So I could see potentially the Yurden or the Skellige ban from Gregor. Now on Cintrian's side, what would he be thinking of banning here? Possibly Nilfgaard. I mean, you could consider Nilfgaard. You can consider Line Pockets as well. Might just be Nilfgaard. Also depends on what you're expecting Gregor to ban too. But I don't know. God, I recover so slowly from Night's Out. Like, holy shit. Like, I still feel like I'm not really functioning today. I'm like, this is my third cup of coffee, and like it's halfway through the day, and I still don't feel like I'm functioning that great yet. So it might be a little bit more of a chill kind of cast today, and not really gonna be anything too wild. So it's still just waiting on the bans from both players. Hopefully they see it. Yeah, nothing going on in the logs yet. Drank a pot of coffee, blended drink, and 4 shots. What the fuck? That's way too much coffee. I try to limit it to like 4 cups a day because I don't want to go over that. Otherwise, I like the energy, but I don't want to go too overboard to the point where it's like not healthy anymore. Also, I don't want to be like so like reliant on coffee because like I can be lazy and I can like forget to go buy coffee or forget when I'm running out, and then just have I don't want to just have a non-morning because I can't like get coffee. But yeah, I don't know. Because when I was going more for like 5 cups a day and then I just like forgot to buy coffee, then I was having a bad time just not being able to really get up and do anything. Which I really like to wake up early. I really like to get my day started by like exercising and all that other stuff. So all right, still just waiting on the bans here. So hopefully those will come in soon and we can get today's games started. All right, come on guys, let's get these bans in. I don't know. Since Cintrian's streaming, right? Is he aware? that he's been added? Like, is he paying attention to Discord? I sure hope he is. Pray for that. I'm not even super worried about the client anymore. It's just been doing so well. And I mean, if it doesn't do well, I'm like relaxed enough today, probably not to mold. Oh my god, just why am I logged out every like that's one thing I really hate about the website is it fucking logs me out randomly. It just constantly is logging me out in the middle of like using their thing, which is a bit frustrating. Well, I mean, if he doesn't cooperate, then I don't know. Then he's gonna get banned out of the tournament pretty quick. I don't have patience for getting fucked with. So I'm assuming Gregor did his ban, so yep, still no bans yet. He's currently reading this chat and translating it. Well, it'd be nice to get going with these games. So we're just basically waiting on him to ban. And pretty soon that I'm gonna make a choice just to get a ban going. Because I don't know. I don't like the putzing. Do not like the putzing. Come on, my dude. Like, if he's sitting here, like, watching the stream, just fucking ban. Let's go. Do not have the patience for this shit. Okay, so we got the bans in now, and yeah, like Ursine Ritual getting banned and then Double Cross getting banned. Kind of expected, to be honest. I know, both sensible bans. Again, the double Yurden kind of forces you into banning Skellige. Otherwise, it's just pretty much a free win for Lippy. So I'm really hoping I get in. We'll find out soon. Because we've had a pretty good streak so far. What, it's been like 3 series and then all of the games in the... So what is that, like nearly the last 20 matches or so I've gotten into, and it sounds like I'm in again. Yeah, I'm in. Wow. This is the client is just like actually smurfing now. Like, what did they do? I'm really curious. Just like what was the fix that now it's just like working? Because, like, it's worked every single game so far. I don't think it's just... But yeah, so we got line pockets coming to try and abuse red, and then Vi on the blue coin here. Couple tutors for Cintrian. Only one Slizzard as a consume. You're gonna... Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have to just go and TA it, right? You're just gonna have to go stratagem the Slizzard. Finding another tutor in Whispering Hillock. Gonna keep the spores just in case he goes big on a spender this round. Finds the Vi as well, so yeah, overall pretty decent hand for Cintrian in terms of the amount of Vi's he has in this opening hand. Let's see, Gregor has how many crimes? He has the Safecracker, he has the Furco into the other Safecracker. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 8-point Safecrackers coming down with Furco and Justice. And also has a Nero and Sir Skewertooth. Like, he could really be quite threatening this round. Spores will get some value. Likely going to see the stratagem come down to protect it. There is a heat wave to kind of consider at some point for this Lizard getting too big. But he's kind of forced into just going really, really tall onto this Lizard because there's no other consumes in Cintrian's hand. And you really don't want to be starting to use leader charges, especially on blue. So this Lizard is going to get really big this round. But again, nothing you can really do about it when you miss 5 consumes kind of just chilling in your deck. So now here's the turn where we see if Gregor decides to be super aggressive or not. If he wants to be super aggressive, then you just slam Furco. Looks like that's exactly what he's going to do. Going to slam Furco here and then just get a whole bunch of value on these crimes. I mean, if you're going to win, like, trying to go for, like, the super long... Like, if you wanted to just get the most points for this round, then you would have gone Skewertooth, but would have gotten the extra 2 points on the pig. But I guess you might want to save Crown Splitters, or just, you know, maybe he's able to just play strong enough into this round with this hand. Again, he's trying to get up to that 9 coins. Gonna have to Nero for a spender, so it's not... That's kind of a problem with this hand, right? You either have to use Bloody Good Fun as your spender, or you have to Nero likely into a Sea Jackal. But then that kind of like takes away the heat wave potential on this Lizard. So I mean, if you can win this round without having to heat wave this, and just the Nero on the Jackal's enough, that's pretty good. Kurt and Piggy are now kind of unplayable this round because they're just too low in points at this. Kurt really wasn't doing much anyway. Like, he's just going to be a bounty for later on the Tunnel Drill.
I'm a dwarf for business.
Okay, so now he doesn't have to Nero for a spender, actually. And he's gonna, really valuing keeping this Piggy now, because that's gonna be his pocket for this Tunnel Drill. So I mean, he can spend with Cleaver. So this is actually like not the worst, because now you just maintain your Nero instead of having to get a spender.
To the fires with them. To the fire.
Okay, so we see. The bounty come down onto this. So I guess Kurt does play for points this round too. I mean, you can get the bounty with Payday, so that's quite nice. Kurt being basically like a 10. And then you have this efficient spender being Cleaver on the board. Although, the sad thing about Kurt having to go melee there is obviously it takes away spaces for your Cleavers, so...
Get out, you baldy-faced baby.
Yeah, starting to run out of room for Cleaver. And again, you're going to want to spend as much as possible to get this before you go for these Bloody Good Funds. But I don't know. Century can play a bit deeper. He can actually play all of these if he really wanted to. Just continue to play tall on this. Force out the heat wave for Gregor to even take the round.
Be gone. Be gone.
Why did he doubles? Yeah, I mean, Safecrackers. Here, let's. So Cleaver's 11, isn't it? Okay, so it was a 50-50 between Siggy and Cleaver. So it wasn't like a guarantee that he would have gotten Cleaver, but you could have played for that Cleaver, right? You could have just played right away, just assuming that Hiraquax would mill out Cleaver. So you could have played both Safecrackers back row. Probably would have been more of an ideal scenario. Just so that you don't run into this issue of having a full row for your Cleaver spend. So we do see Gregor spending the leader charge, using the Bloody Good Fun to come and take out this larva. And point gap's still really, really close. You know, Cintrian able to spend the spores out here to get ahead yet again. We see this squirrel lying in wait potentially for this Anero, but you know, possibly gonna have to spend this Royal Decree as well, as it's pretty easy for Gregor to get ahead. I mean, Squirrel does get ahead here. You force Gregor to spend the Anero, but you don't get to squirrel the Anero for carryover. Gregor could Anero for more coin carryover as well, so he could get out this Royal Decree. But deciding to spend the Skewer Tooth here. So now there's a problem with Tunnel Drill getting value. It's not going to be like a really great spender at that point. Holding on to the Anero still gives him the option to Heatwave this and just take the round uneven. Heatwave is really expensive though. This is where your deck would be gagging for a Spores, as Spessy would say. I'm waiting for these qualifier casts where he lets that slip out. Cause that's one of my favorite things he says is like, when a deck really wants something, he goes, it's gagging for this card. It's gagging. I don't know. There's something about just using gagging in that way that is hilarious to me. All right, so we see the commitment of the Heatwave here. Does take the round uneven, but very expensive. Cleaver's gone. All the Crown Splitters are gone, except for Gord. Gord's the only Crown Splitter to actually give the pocket for the Tunnel Drill. So Tunnel Drill going to be extremely lackluster. So what does Gregor necessarily do here? All right, Cintrian draws into, obviously gets the guaranteed Anero, but then top decks into Vi itself, so will not be getting 2-0'd here. So if Gregor decides to go for that line, I mean, you can bleed out a Vi still, right? Because I don't know about taking double SA when there's like Haunt. You got to try and bleed, right? Philippa, not great. Obviously, when you have no coin carryover. Yeah, it's such an awkward hand to go for. I mean, you could have went hard and just went Siggy, I guess. Nero into Siggy. Then you aren't even able to play all that. You do lose some coins because you're not able to spend everything with Philippa. Oh yeah, I don't think you're beating this though as Gregor. Like, I know the hand was awkward, but I don't think you just can't beat this many Vi's. And, wow, very talented, very, very talented there. Okay, I mean, no point in even trying to think about like math or anything. This game's way over. This game is way over. So I'm just gonna go and get the score command. Already started getting edited for the next one. Okay. I hate these. Hate doing the score commands for like these really multiple series. Edit. All right. But yeah, this game's not even close. Yeah, Cintry just had too good of a round one hand and then drew too well, and then Gregor couldn't pull off any type of bleed. I don't know. Just does not seem like a good matchup at all. Should have jammed the random Yurden in line pockets too. Then you'd have had a chance, right? Fucking 31 point Vi. So what's the max Vi at the? Is it 35? No, not 35, because it goes up to 34, and then is it 37 point Vi? Is 37 the max Vi?
A bolt between the shoulders and all's done.
31 is, I mean, 31 is the highest that people are gonna get for the most part, but it isn't the technical max like 37 or no? Or is it 34? It's 34 or 37, right? Like, could he have gotten one more? Yeah, he could have gotten, because with the Nagelfire, right? So yeah, if you're getting a 31 point Vi, not a lot of things are beating you. Like when that Vi's that big, it's just like pretty much like, okay, I win. God, love to see it. Love to see Vi being competitive. You love to see that when you miss a card, like you miss a tutor, it's like fucking 20 to 30 points for just missing that card. Gotta love it. It's 34. Okay. So he basically maxed out the Vi that game. Drew very, very well. I don't know. I don't really think there's anything like I don't even think Gregor could have played that game. I'm sure he could have taken better lines, but I don't think it's changing much. Like when you just draw that well. It's 37. Yeah, I thought it was like 37. Like my memory thought it was 37, but I wasn't sure. Oh yeah, because he didn't grow it. He didn't grow it in round 2. Like if he top decked it he top decked it, but he didn't grow it in round 2. Because so that game he could have had it be 34, if there was a potential to eat it in round 2 and draw onto it again in round 3. So if you draw it every single round and have your full amount of tutors, it's 37. Yeah. All right. So now we got line pockets again, very consistently just going and trying to abuse red coin. Line pockets, like, I hate decks. I hate the red coin abuse decks. I don't know. But Cintrian has a really, really strong hand to abuse the coin as well. Has a whole bunch of these save crackers are what, 9, 10 points? 1, 2, 4, 5. Okay, so it's 8 again. Well, 8 point save cracker coming down right away. We have Furco into Justice as well. Double bloody good fun to have some pretty nice removal. Gonna eventually be able to kill off this Griffin Witcher. So just takes the heat wave right away. I mean, that's fine. One of your better heat waves. Now you just try and like win the round on even. Yeah, Gregor does have Yurden in hand. But gonna have to be a little bit worried when you see these safecrackers come down at 8 points right away. That's a bit scary.
Loaded the pendulum. I'm much better at that.
Climbing's the easy bit. Getting down's another matter.
These shields are gonna be pretty nice, I guess, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like he just kind of lost the round uneven now.
Never a problem 4 inches of steel couldn't solve. Next time it'll be personal.
So yeah, 12 points ahead already is Cintrian, as Gregor has to kind of just go start to set up his carryover right now. Has to wait another turn for Vesemir Mentor to be online yet. So what does he play? I mean, you could take the worthless squirrel. He could go for this Mentor, I guess, and not play it for its adrenaline, right? It's adrenaline 4 as well. Yeah. So, I mean, do you really think you're getting this squirrel? Is, I guess, the question to ask. Because, like, to get the Anero now is really hard.
Don't ever expect your opponents to line up.
That's a really good draw. That's a really good Mentor, though. Hitting the Natalis there. Or just put a Scytheman. You could put Keldar back as well. Putting the squirrel back, that's fine too. Not really going to do anything this round. That's why Squirrel's such an awkward card, right? It can be so good, but the times where you're able to play it can be very hard to get in. Especially like when you're getting bled or possibly losing rounds uneven. Like it's, and like in a deck where you want to bleed like Witchers, I don't like Squirrel that much because like you could like if they have an answer for your Griffin Witcher, then you risk losing round 1 uneven and you already have to play solo temple. Like they answer the Griffin Witcher and you don't have like a lot of like decent engines in round 1, then you're possibly just getting clappered because you're playing this just 4 points of tempo in round 1 and possibly losing uneven. In round 2, if you have the round control, you want to bleed. And the Squirrel's really low tempo in round 2. But again, it's just a 4P tech card anyway.
Hey, I can see Kaer Seren from here.
The psychological factor, Wilson, is that you picture yourself as the lowly squirrel, right? The lowly squirrel, he's not really, what is he going to do on a battlefield? But then you go and like you take these battle plans and you go and just destroy them and take down an army just as a little squirrel. It's like one of those peak moments in a squirrel's life. Just feels good. Okay.
You do not deserve to live. If you're not fast enough.
See the Nero come down. They're just slamming like these. I don't even like from Keldar going and getting his animation down. Like the animation was so fluid into the next card. There's like no hesitation made into these next turns. Like it's actually impressive. I mean, we do have a really good Scytheman here, and now Cintrian's hand is starting to get less and less able to.
Reaping black-clad heads.
Yeah, does he? He hasn't gotten Boat out yet either. Though we have Shakedown to potentially get it out.
I heard the Aphiri read minds. You gotta be quick. You gotta dodge. You gotta have.
So gets ahead by 1 again. You're gonna force the Yurt in here. So Gregor doesn't lose uneven. He takes the round, but
Yeah. Retrieve the bolt. I know. I'm on it.
or does he? There's another 2 points coming in for the. No, because this is just an efficient enough spender, right? You'd have to jam leader charges, I guess. Okay, I guess. Well, he's double intimidate. 2 points from that. Doesn't have to jam any leader charges. It actually just perfectly makes it by 1. Wow. That's pretty bad for Gregor. That is pretty fucking bad. Yikes. Yeah, being able to make it by 1 like that, that's devastating. Yeah, I kind of forgot about the the extra 2 points of intimidate. I thought he was gonna have to use leader charges there at first to make it up, but no, just so easy. So Witcher's losing round 1 uneven here. We see Syndicate very, very nicely doing what it does best and really abusing that round 1. Yeah, and since you're just going to take the longer round, get the drilling done. So got some golds to find yet. They're still flying Redanian in deck to potentially brick. I mean, he has one of these, so just needs to find at least one more of those. Shouldn't be too hard. I say it shouldn't be too hard, but it might actually be too hard. Okay, finds the cleaver. Just misses out on one of his golds then. Ooh, finds the Quen. Okay. Best possible hand for Gregor. Cintrian's missing out on Siggy. We're missing out on Siggy or Gord. What's Gord gonna be? Can he get to... I mean, he can get to 9 with leader. For sure.
Knights get princesses and we get what? Bloody Striegers.
So Margarita being a nice lock for the drill as well. It's definitely not like over. Like this could actually be quite close.
Served 10 years in the army. Pays better with Salamandra.
So Cintrian just playing really uninteractive here, taking the assault. Assault not doing so much. Like I don't know. I just don't like double assault at all. Like if there's good like Salamandras that you could be able to play in this deck, and then you can get that 6 damage, then it becomes a really nice card. Otherwise, it's just 4 damage is pretty lackluster.
So what's our plan?
Humanity will perish while the few survivors.
Okay, so we see Jacques come down. Again, he wants to get that boat out, so he wants to play Jacques before he gets anywhere near those 9 coins. So you don't have to play awkwardly. Then again, you do have 2 spenders in your hand. But yeah, Gregor still is full leader, still is AA. Like, so there's a lot of points here.
Always going on about this Mark fella.
This Griffin, this AA getting a lot of value too. Transforming, he gets pretty much full boost. I don't know, this could be close.
Climbing's the easy bit. Getting down's another matter.
Like Leo is playing for a lot of value. A lot of Witchers on that row. Scytheman's playing for a whole heck of a lot of value.
Parrying arrows mid-fight. Really ought to try that.
There's a time to
So decides to just take the leader. Loses a point on the Margarita, but then plays around Drill a little bit better. Yeah, we're going Siggy. We get the boat out. Don't even over profit because Jacques can spend.
I'll gladly help if I live to see it.
All right, so 39 points now. Citrian needs to make up here. I don't know. This drill's spending very well, but Shakedown coming in here. Does he? It's a tie. Really? Oh, nice. Oh boy, we go again. We go again. Nice. Okay. So, Witcher's into Witcher's into line pockets again. We'll see if line pockets is gonna be able to efficiently abuse the coin again. You know, we'll see if he's able to draw the justice and safe cracker again like that. Like that was just a really nice hand for Cintrian for that round one. So we'll see if we get a similar hand or not. I don't know, because it's kind of hard to make it better. But then again, like Gregor drew really well for round three. Like had the perfect hand in that round three, so I don't know.
There'll be nothing to pick up when I'm done with you.
A little bit of the draws kind of balanced out, I guess, because then, you know, missing Siggy / Gord. This is a much worse hand from Cintrian now. We see way too much top end in this opening hand. Useless Jacques. You know, Gord, pretty useless. Having to spend a Nero potentially to get access to this justice is not great either. Quite a few two less crimes as well. We do see Heatwave right there to come down again, which it does. In terms of Gregor's hand, Gregor has a pretty good hand, I want to say. Like, a better hand than last game. So, might not lose on even here, even. Might not even lose on even.
No sound as sweet as a click.
But yeah, has all of the carryover cards. Has AA potentially if he needs it. Yeah, I don't know. It's looking pretty good.
You gotta be quick. You gotta dodge. You gotta have them.
Does go for the cleaver into justice still. Still really trying to push this round against spending Heatwave and just kind of jamming the justice now.
Oh, you've done it now.
But yeah, he's not gonna be able to as cleanly
I can see Care Saren from
take
here.
this round one as he did last game. I don't think.
We'll uphold the knightly
I
value.
mean, maybe it's like Philip is good value if he like commits Siggy as well. But then he's committing quite a bit more to win the round than he did last game. Like, and then if the same thing happens and he
Piece of shite.
like just taking the long round, I don't think he. You know, that's kind of a similar scenario, right? Because he didn't have. So, I don't know. Looks a little bit better for Gregor this game so far, but we'll see. Like, if Citrian commits Philip a Siggy, I could see it kind of hard having him, or kind of hard for him to have the points for round 3.
Knights get princesses and we get what? Bloody streagers.
All right, so we see the AA come down now into this Griffin Witcher to get a little bit of the engine value. Hopefully dodge this Cleaver's muscle shield as well when it locks on a Journal in 3. We get Vesemir to boost this up out of range of Philippa too, which is kind of nice. So going to be looking to do that, obviously, because do not want this to get Philippa, but looks like he is waiting. Going Keldar again. Just kind of...
The windmill. Its sticks spin around and smash you.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand it. Like, again, really worried about losing on even. Spends the Keldar. It trades with the Philippa again.
If you're not fast enough.
Obviously putting it on front row, expecting a potential Philippa. Again, Cintrian's having hard times these games getting to the full bank. I mean, I guess Siggy will do that this time. Like sitting out in the boat in round 1 seems to be an issue. But now he's gonna have spent Siggy and Philippa. Then again, Gregor this game spent Quen
I hope we can trust you.
as opposed to last game. Oof. So misses on quite a few of the cards to get him ahead, but Cintrian's still playing on further.
Yeah. Retrieve the bolt. I know. I'm on it.
Gregor can play out this whole hand now pretty easily. I think he's in a good spot.
Tomfoolery. Enough.
Like, he can even play for a little bit more carryover with this Mentor. Can play the Leo for good value still too. You know, it's going to force out quite a bit more from Cintrian yet.
One man's battlefield is another man's ripe patch for harvest.
So I expected to see the Mentor come down and then just maximize the Leo value, or is he just going to try and slam Leo to get out, potentially?
Don't ever expect your opponents
Ugh.
to line up.
Well, that's not ideal. Here comes a squirrel again to come and bite him in the ass. Hopefully the squirrel doesn't have rabies, but, you know, you never know. Now it's a bit more of a tempo squirrel, though. You got the tempo squirrel on your hands. 7 points. Sick.
Always going on about this Mark fella.
Leo is playing for a heaping bit of points here, though, so that's good. And it gets out everything from Cintrian, too.
See me smile.
Like, Cintrian's gonna have to spend his cleaver, too.
What the? Who the hell are you calling hot-headed?
Like, he's just committed way too much, right? Like, this is it. He's gonna win on even again, but like, you've committed far too much. Like, you already committed too much last game, and now you've committed like way more. So I don't know. I don't see Cintrian really winning here. Granted, Yurden is not great. Like, having Yurden instead of Quen, a little bit worse for Gregor in that, right? For his deck quality, but Cintrian's deck quality is way weaker than last game. Way weaker. And what is going to be his pocket? Like, he's not really going to have a pocket for this tunnel drill. He can't play Gord early, right? Because of Yurden.
Climbing's the easy bit. Getting down's another matter.
So I don't know. I am pretty sure Gregor just outpoints him from this point, unless he just hyper bricks. Cintrian still has all of his golds in his deck too. Oh my god, finding the Natalis is pretty good. You just don't take that mulligan as Gregor. You just keep this. So Cintrian finds the Jacques. Misses out on nothing. So he finds everything, but again, not the strongest. Not the strongest looking hand. Like, very crime heavy, and these crimes aren't doing a whole heck of a lot. You don't have a suit. You don't have a really efficient spender either.
I'm too old for this shit.
I mean, I guess you have double essay, so you can get a little bit of a pocket for tunnel drill.
The beast shall be born with the blood of innocence shall flow. Fall overboard and I'm not jumping in after you.
Yep, a tallest in a target practice. AA, what are you hitting?
Dark clouds gather
AA on the Scytheman.
Pendulum. I'm much better at that.
I mean, pretty good Scytheman value here. So, like, Gregor has a ton of points. I don't know what Cintrian has. And if you have to go double SA, you can't use your drill to deny a whole lot of these boosts. So, just is not looking good. Yep, AA. I mean, it doesn't matter. You don't need to worry about tall punishes. The heat wave's gone, so like sequencing just really doesn't matter here. Not much to think about. But normally you would go AA first because you want this to go a little bit less tall and just get the boost on the thing you didn't AA out.
A time to sow and a time to die.
Yeah, I feel like that's GG for Gregor here. So getting the Witchers through after the tie with Cintrian winning on even both games, but again spending a whole lot to do so. This kind of goes to show that like winning on even doesn't always just win you the game. It really depends on what you've committed to do so, and Cintrian committed a lot both times, more so in this game than the first. So Sea Jackal comes down as his spender, as it's a bit. How close does it get though? Actually, is he making this again? Holy fucking shit. Each time I'm like, oh, this is such a point gap. Pretty close there, actually. Even after committing so much. Damn. Yeah, these games are close. These games are really close each time. All right. Well, that ties the series so far. We got 1-1 here. Now we'll move on. In the next match, we have what left for both players. Obviously, still line pockets for Cintrian to get through. Cintrian also has double cross, and then Gregor has Arrakis Swarm, and then Arrakis Swarm and his line pockets. So Arrakis Swarm line pockets against line pockets and double cross. And these can kind of go either way, although like I would say Arrakis Swarm can be pretty good into double cross depending. It still requires both players to know what they're doing. But if you can get the Arrakis Swarm into the line pockets matchup, it could be quite nice for you. Rakaswarm can do pretty well into that too. Again, none of these are like just auto, like Giga favored or anything. So I mean, this series can definitely go either way at this point. Yeah, overall, I would just say that that Gregor has a little bit of an edge going into this if he plays really well, just based on the matchups.
You crossed the wrong sorceress.
Okay, so we do have the Rakaswarm into the... Okay, so his strategy then is to take line pockets on blue and try and contend with Cintrian's line pockets. We see Yen and Yurden right away in the opening hand. For Cintrian, we do see Joachim, which he can just jam out at any time. He's not just gonna roll into Usurper, which is probably pretty good. Then again, a lot of top end in this opening hand from Cintrian here. Almost all of his golds in this round one hand. Oh geez, that is a very gold heavy hand for Cintrian, and in a lot of cases you would say this is nice, but at the same time, you have to commit so much. Like, Nausicaa's pretty good here. I don't know, is he going to even try to play the second one? It can get so easily answered here. So, maybe not even going to try to play the second one and just go right into this Vigo. Or you just test the waters, I guess, with this second one. If it sticks, great. If it doesn't, whatever. You trade down you'd trade down more than just a point. If Wispus thins out the... Oh wait, he doesn't have... Oh, then there's way more of an argument to go for it. No natural selections. Natural selection would be obviously more of a reason to forego this.
Enough. Let us finish this.
And we see the poison completion now. Joachim hitting into these fangs. I feel like fangs is the new Magni. I feel like when you have Magni in deck, it's like Joachim's hard-coded to hit your Magnis. And nowadays, when you just have these fangs, it's like hard-coded to hit fangs. Like, I swear, Joachim RNG is... Ugh. I've never seen so many fang rolls in my life. So Artorias here, is he going to be able to hit the hunting pack? Does not hit the hunting pack. Hits the poison completion, so he gets potentially save this cupbearer, but again, hitting the lock is not good. So we see him going for the fang. No Keck Veiled value. Yeah, he might have wanted to wait on that Veil, honestly. So, like, if there's no natural selections, then why not just wait for the Veils and not go use your Veil until the Crimson Curse comes down?
I shall flog them into submission.
Alright, we see Joachim coming down onto a useless lock here. The second Joachim, not nearly as good a value for you. 20-point gap. We still got Crimson Curse ticking for another 3 turns. However, we do have some value plays from Gregor coming down. If he plays Yen this round, Cintrian's going to be in a little bit of trouble with Ku already spent. How many points is Yen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 16, 11 times 2, 20. I mean, Yen gets ahead, right? Like, that could be pretty threatening. And then you have double Talisman as well to play out this round. You could win the round uneven. We'll force him to commit a lot here. Like, Ku is already gone, but is spending Yen too much? Goes for the Yurden here. Okay, uses the Yurden to get head instead. Gonna be able to hold on to the Yen. Okay, so wins the round on even for Gregor here. Cintrian will be going to look to defend the bleed here. So here's the thing too, now that the first coup has been played out. If Yen comes down in this round 2, then coup will not be around for round 3, so trying to save the ball could prove pretty tough without the coup. Finds Roderick. Again, finding all of his golds here, but is he going to commit too much to defend this round? Yeah, every single one of his golds. And we see Gregor leading off right away with the Spontaneous Evolution, spontaneously filling that front row to get ready to go into these double bone talismans. And we see Masquerade Bull getting plopped down right away from Cintrian. Again, must be just respecting the fact that coup getting spent out this round means that aristocrats could be harder to achieve. And right away we see Gregor and Neuromancing into that heat wave to go and banish that ball. So ball is no more, ball is gone. And we just see the Cupbearer come down to take the poison on the drone. It's going to be one of your more decent poisons for the most part. And Yen comes down next. Likely going to see a coup to re-answer that Yen as well. Gets a bit of that assimilate value from this Cupbearer too. Fortunately does not get Cintrian ahead here. But this Chimera is playing for a lot of value, and eating this drone's pretty nice too. You deny any potential poison. There's only one more Fang, but I mean, might as well just get rid of that as a potential option. Unfortunately, these bone talismans, he's not able. He needed some more swarm.
What is this ridiculous?
Like an Arrakis Nest. Oh, only had Arrakis Nest and Triss, I guess, for like extra, but you know, still would have been nice to see. So we do not see Gregor actually eating the poisoned unit here. Not really playing around the other Fang, potentially. We see Talisman 1 come down. If he's spending 1, he's going to spend the other as well, just to go and get more out of Cintrian. Cintrian going to commit further and further, obviously, into this round. More and more golds coming out. So, I mean, if Gregor is able to still like trade up with Parasite and Drega, I mean, I think Cintrian gets his card, but will he have enough juice going into round 3 with only Menno and Yen? That is quite worrying. And now we have Emissary come down to get another unit on Gregor's side of the board. I wonder if Gregor just waits on the Talisman now? No, he doesn't. I was gonna say, why don't you could just wait for more spies. Let Cintrian swarm the board for you, and just play the Endrega, because you definitely want to get this Endrega out of hand and at least shorten the round some more. Possibly trade up. Could have gotten an extra couple points. One by couple, an extra like 1 point on the Roderick or Canarella that comes down. Really gonna be curious to see what Gorther and Canarella do here. I mean, you should just probably go for the Mentor, but you could see a lot of like clown lines from people with Nilfgaard where like they'll just random Alchemist.
No mercy.
And what came down here? It was just on the poison one? Yeah, it was the poisoned one, right? The poison drone?
Your blade's just an extension of your will.
So that does get Cintrian out now. Holds on to Leader and Canarella, so has access to 1 Joachim. But that's it. Literally Joachim's it, and then Menno into Remedies, like your power play at that point. Does draw the Menno, so but I mean, it's not a lot from Gregor really either. I get this Arrakis Behemoth though. Arrakis Behemoth and Triss does find the Triths, so really, really good hand from Gregor. I have to think Gregor's looking like he's in the better spot here. Like this tourney joust is pretty meh.
A clever maneuver.
A highly curious case.
Your blood will warm my bones.
He could go into Arrakis Nest, or you could just roll the Triss right now just to get it out of hand so Cintrian can't use it. Might just be Triss to get it out of hand. I don't hate it, but then, yeah, I mean, him getting a Nero isn't doing shit. But I like the Triss a bit more, right? Like, so what is your low roll then? Like, I don't think your low roll is that terrible. And then denying Cintrian the leader value is quite nice. Like, ideally, Triss could hit like Arrakis Nest, and then you could go a Nero onto Chimera instead.
I will not let this become a second Sodden.
So now Cintrian gets a really good Triss, gets a 12-point leader. So I don't know. I don't like that Triss hold by Gregor. And now I suppose you just go Parasite to try and hit that roll onto the front row. Missed. Maybe he was just worried about getting Canarella, but I don't know. I don't think he had to be too worried about that. But what is Canarella's best pull here? Canarella's best pull... Oh yeah, I mean he's going Joachim, or he's going Yen.
Let us see.
Canarella into Yen.
There'll be nothing to pick up when I'm done with you.
Okay, that's quite the gap. The shield, actually, like the shields and everything, like Triss's best is like, yeah, Triss isn't making 15 even here.
Just great.
Yeah, the mentor is not.
Leave it no chance to react.
Cintrian did draw all of his golds. I think if he takes the earlier, I think if Gregor takes the earlier Triss, he's probably winning that. I don't like that he waited. But 2-1 goes to Cintrian, drawing his cards very well here. You know, found absolutely every single gold for Nilfgaard, and actually had enough juice. The Canarella into Yen was a heads-up play. I didn't really consider it, but really nice with the Tourney Joe shield on the board, as well as the armor on your lock. So you were able to mitigate some of that Yen damage, as well as make Triss potentially more awkward. So like you kind of eliminate the Bone Talisman option there. So all right. So now I'm gonna want to open the lists. Okay, well, let me see what series is. I was gonna go open up my other series, but it looks like we have another problem. Okay, so now we got Arrakis into the Syndicate. Arrakis being on red here. Around one hand again, finding the justice and the safecrackers. Very, very good at finding that. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Decent amount of crimes as well. I see Gregor right away going into swarming of the board. Cintrian answering right away with his safecrackers. 7 points, pretty good value. I mean, Furco gets some nice thinning in as well. We can just play for some nice value. Hopefully, gonna be able to thin out the boat this round. I mean, has the swindle. Whatever Furco can find something to make him there, so it should be able to thin out the boat. Also, it's really sad that the second series is the one that has to... So I don't know what I'm going to do for the third series now. So I guess I'll message them to see if they can... Otherwise, I don't know what I'm going to do for like the next hour. This really kind of throws a wrench into the whole thing. Like, if it was just the last group, I wouldn't mind as much, but now I might be kind of fucked. So, nice. All right. So it looks like Maxi is coming down here. A Nero bottom deck is not great. I mean, you're drawing into your Tristan Heatwave. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. I think you shuffle, right?
No magic can.
I think you just shuffle and hope for the best. Missing out on the... Nero's such a good card in the Arrakis list to miss out on, because just being able to grab that. And then you weren't guaranteed some other top end like Yurden, so I think you kind of had to go for this shuffle there. Okay, Swindle comes down. Gets to the 9 coins. That uses the leader charge to get to the 9 coins there. And we actually get to see Boat coming out round 1 for Cintrian. Again, it really feels bad. That's one thing about Boat. Like if you can't, you should be able to get it out, but sometimes you have awkward hands where you can't get it out, and it just feels so bad. So, getting the thinning done there. Let's see how far Gregor is able to continue to play into this round. Goes for the Indrago Warrior and likely going to go into the Talisman. Arrakis Behemoth is not really playable here. I mean, you could see, I guess, Doragary come down on the Spender, depending on, you know, if the Siggy or something comes down early. And waiting this long on Cleaver. Cleaver's obviously unplayable. Gord's unplayable. So now you're looking to try and get the round with Furco and Siggy here. Granted, the Sea Jackal is going to smurf quite hard. So that should, yeah, I mean, you're going to go Siggy and it's going to give you the round at this point. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, it opened up Arrakis Behemoth, so now Gregor can actually play out the Arrakis Behemoth. So, still decides not to do that, however. Wonder why. It's a bit greedy. It is a bit greedy not to go for the Arrakis Behemoth. I guess just really valuing that swarm potential of the card too, but you're probably going to have to spend it anyway. Unless you're just going to go... I mean, if Doragary can get ahead next, then you're forcing quite a bit again out of Cintrian, so... And Cintrian saying that this is a little bit too expensive for him and taking the pass here to give the round to... so I guess the greed paid off a little bit there. for Gregor being able to save this Arrakis behemoth. Really nice to be able to save, so. All right, just gotta wait to hear from Napoleon potentially for starting their series early. Otherwise, again, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do for another hour. Bit of a hard spot right here. All right, so we see round 2 Smork coming down. Tunnel drill in Cintrian's hand, gonna be able to get the pocket with the cleaver. So no real intimidate value, however, coming down from cleaver. But Gregor gonna be able to swarm a lot. Has full leader yet. Has Arrakis behemoth. Has Wispus into some more swarm. And then Yen and Yurden this round. So like. Then again, Yurden isn't going to do a whole heck of a lot here without, like, the final say. Like, the only Yurden value happening now is on, like, Gord. So, Yurden being pretty lackluster. So here we see the leader charges into the Arrakis Behemoth, filling that front row here. Possibly going to see Wispus Tribute as well come down. Could see Yen also come down early. Just with full leader to save, because now you have to start being worried about Tunnel Drill. So maybe even just go Yen early, because now Tunnel Drill comes down and starts wrecking your front row. Okay, holding on to 1 leader charge for the spontaneous evolution Wispus next round potential to get some swarm. Still has some chimeras left to eat. Still has Trist potentially left to get some value.
The object of dark desire.
And now Yurden, I mean, this is probably the best value Yurden you're really gonna get. To be fair. Like Yurden on the front row. We got 2, 4, 6, and then 12. So 14-point Yurden. I mean, you take it, right? I mean, you're not getting. I mean, you get final say on the Gord, so it's going to be similar. But like, you're up 20 points. Don't you just? Gord's only playing for 9 right now, too. Like, you count up the Gord. Say like best hand. Okay, so it does take it, forcing Cintrian to play 33 points here. So it does have the very efficient spend. 5 leader charges as well with the Tunnel Drill. Is this gonna be enough to survive this round? And then, I mean, you still have Jacques for the short round, so still have a little bit of short round power. Yeah, I mean, it makes it very expensive, however. Having no coin carryover and full leader. Only makes it by 1, actually, too. Damn. So gets out of the round by the skin of his teeth and going into the last round. We'll see who is able to top deck better here. Let's see, Cintrian doing a pretty good job hitting that Gord right off the bat. Still have yet to find a lot of these golds. All right, so have Heatwave. Yeah, this hand is not looking great for Gregor. Hand not looking too ideal.
The beast shall be born, and the blood of innocence shall flow.
Although Oniro and a Trish should be enough, right? 11. Justice needs to make 11. That should be pretty easy. Spontaneous evolution. Believe does it.
How can I help?
Yeah. Does it quite nicely here. Okay. So I got the next games figured out, thankfully. Sweet. Yeah, I'm just going to go and open their lists. Viewer games for an hour. Nah. We're good. We're good. So we have the match point now for Cintrian and Gregor here. Line pockets actually being troublesome for Cintrian to get through. But now it's the line pockets mirror, so what a fun one. All right, so line pockets mirror, and Gregor being on red here is really, really good for Gregor. Again, forces Cintrian to possibly have to overcommit to not lose on even. And Gregor has the Safecracker in his hand. We see Cintrian not have access to the Novigrad Injustice. We have Safecracker and Justice from Gregor here. That's going to be huge.
Patience and a keen ear.
Coming down at 6, and we see Safecrackers from Gregor, just a slightly bigger, coming down at 7 here. So now Cintrian's got to be quite scared. But like, what can he do? What can he even do with this hand? This is not. Oh, this is just not good. This is very dangerous. And this is why, like, I would hate going on red in the mirror or on blue in the mirror. Because, like, you don't draw your Justice, and your opponent does. It's just like...
No experience required.
And we see Justice come down from Gregor, and here comes the win on even. Or Cintrian's just gonna have to really heavily overcommit. Gregor's got a really non-committal hand for winning it on even here. Like, he can just chillax. And we see Pickpocket come down, thinning out the boat for Gregor, getting up to that 9 coins so easily. Has a Sea Jackal as well to go and abuse a little bit. So,
One man's battlefield is another
again,
man's
has to be wary of the heat wave though, for sure. Yeah, Cintrian just gives up the round. Like, seeing Justice, seeing the Sea Jackal, just kind of gets out saying, oh, I'll defend the bleed. I got my Justice still. You know, you committed your Justice, so just have to defend the bleed. And, you know, so, you know, drawing into that Safecracker is Cintrian. He's going to want to mulligan that away, obviously. Doesn't really want Gord necessarily in this hand this round either, but not finding the Justice in round 2. No Aniro or no Justice. Not drawing well at all this game. That's very unfortunate. Also not having Philippa. So no Furco, no Justice, no Aniro in round 2 is absolutely insane to miss all 3 of those. That is very unlucky. Also, we see Gregor with First Say and Sir Skewertooth in hand. Sir Skewertooth can be very impactful here, playing for a lot of good value. Just could spend 1 leader charge, get the immunity. And then you have that uninteractive Crown Splitter on the board with that 2 Intimidate. So we see that come down right now, spending the tribute. Going to be really, really annoying. It's actually going to be a really quick match, this one, I feel like. So yeah, Cintrian kind of like pondering a little bit here. Has to go and commit the cleaver right off the bat and go and start spending too. Again, just not a good position to be in, you know, after losing uneven, and then you just see this skewer tooth come down and you're just like, ugh, miss my Justice, miss my Nero, miss my Furco. Definitely going to be a tough round for him. So we see Gregor eliminating Cleaver from the board. That's another spender out of the way. Again, yes, he's going to spend most of the other coins with Tunnel Drill, and then I guess you just have whatever cleanup left with this Jackal. So you're able to, you have a decent amount of spenders that you kind of spread out as Cintrian. So see Gregor's Cleaver come down. Now he has the Tunnel Drill pocket set up. No units yet really for Gregor to interact with, so still has to just wait a bit. But yeah, you're gonna have to think he's looking to go for that 2-0 line after spending all these leader charges, because, you know, Cintrian having all this extra carryover is not ideal. Then again, you do have a pass for double SA, but still looking to push further. We got Furco coming down. You have to believe that he's going to commit Tunnel Drill this round too, as that's pretty much all your Crown Splitters getting spent out this round. But yeah, Gregor's just really keen on capitalizing on this this engine on his side of the board that Cintrian doesn't have access to. Really just trying to get the max amount of value out of this piggy. But now these shielded units are really annoying. You can see Gregor possibly play out Sea Jackal proactively, but does just take, you know, wants to get that bolt back out, so just takes the weaker dip there and dips into that shield. So ideally, wouldn't go Tunnel Drill just yet. You could possibly fill up with the Sea Jackal. Could also fill up the Cleaver's Muscle. But decides to lose the coin and just go for the Tunnel Drill hill to go full spend out. Leaves it on the board. I almost would have liked to have seen killing off this Cleaver's Muscle as well to eliminate the pocket. But I guess just gonna fill up Cintrian's Tunnel Drill. Ooh, and now Cintrian has no spender too. Oh, this is not good. That was actually really good from Gregor killing off. Yeah, this is a 2-0.
My lads will make sure of
This is a wholesome 2-0, right? Yeah, Sir Skewer Tooth was massive here. But also is massive. Missing Justice and Nero Furco. It's pretty massive as well.
I'll never be imprisoned again.
I don't know about the steel on the boat, but I mean, you're 2-0ing either way, but
use it. Not sure for what just yet, but boom.
so like if it wasn't a heat wave and it was a spender, then are you even 2-0ing going for that Philippa line? I don't like that Philippa on the boat. Just play for max Philippa value, right? Just say that there's not going to be a round 3. Okay, well, feels a bit bad in the mirror, obviously drawing poorly and kind of having that being the big reason. But looks like Gregor takes down Cintrian in the mirror. Again, a bit sad because he missed out on Justice, Oniro, Furco. That's so unlikely to happen going into like that round 2. So, yeah, I mean, what are you going to do?